Ya van a ser las 8.
They are. It is already
Oh my God,
8.
it's 8 o'clock.
Yes, and we are live, Janet.
Yes, oh my God. I
It's
spoke.
been a while, Janet.
Hi,
Welcome.
we're back.
We
Did you
are
guys, did you
back.
miss us?
Oh, hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Let me see. I'm gonna turn this
Yes.
off.
So good to see everyone. So as you know, my name is Jana Altagracia and this is Maya Dari del
Hello,
Sol,
hello.
my
Welcome,
teacher.
welcome.
And we're back here to sharing with you again and always. And we're back to Fridays.
Exactly. We're going back to Fridays
Right.
because this is a good moment.
I-
Usually on Fridays, you leave work or you leave whatever you're doing. You want to relax a little bit and maybe open up your mind to something different. And so here we are again, being part of your Fridays. So
Yeah.
welcome to a date with your soul
With your
again.
soul.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, yes,
Absolutely. So just tell everybody we're back to Friday.
yes. Mhm.
You know, we're back on the roll. So
Yes, yes, yes. We see some people joining on YouTube. Welcome, welcome. And we see some people joining on Instagram. Welcome all. We have an amazing topic this Friday.
very fun and juicy and all those good tops, all those good things that happens with all different topics.
Yes.
We're gonna have you think, look at things differently.
Mhm.
See, has that happened to me?
Self-observation.
Self-observation.
Yes. So
That
we're gonna
different
be
perspective.
different perspectives. Yes, we want to share this information always with intention for you to self-observe and review and see yourself and see your life and see your family system and see how you're connected to it and see if you're repeating some of these patterns and all of it. And the reason we're doing this is because of you and because we want everybody to know this information, and so we can create a change once we get to see that we are somehow trapped. We are trapped energetically in our family systems, unresolved memories from the past. We can start changing our reality and our destiny. So welcome, welcome. We are starting a series of programs. We're gonna do 5, and we're gonna be talking about the wounds, the soul's wounds. Yes.
Absolutely.
And today's topic, of course, is one of them, and is we're gonna be talking about rejection, the wound of rejection. So welcome, welcome.
Like I love to say, loving your triggers. Because as we talk about rejection, you're gonna see different triggers.
Mhm.
So we're gonna hopefully open up your perspective so you learn to love them so then you can observe them and then work through them.
Yes.
That is our goal.
Well said.
We'll do a good
Janet.
job, right, Maya?
Yes, I hope so. I hope so. So, before we begin, we want to let you know about Alchemy for the Soul.
Buy the book.
Buy
Definitely
the book.
buy the book. And you
Yes.
have a couple programs. So the
Yes.
book is one of them.
Yes, and
English
then we
and
have
Spanish.
in English and Spanish, yes, and you can find it in Amazon. And we're not going to be reading a lot from the book today, but we are just making this break to talk about these 5 wounds of the soul. But it's part of the information of why we need to understand the wound, our own wounds, because to be able to create alchemy, we must understand the whys I'm experiencing this pain, this suffering, and how to transform that. And to understand my wound, I must go to the past, my own past, and my family system past to understand it. And then, of course, we live an experience because all of this work that we're doing here is called systemic therapy. And systemic therapy is based on experience. So you heal through an experience, not just understanding. But the book is going to give you lots of understanding and clarity. And at the same time, it will give you the experience because we have 22 exercises, systemic exercises for you to, after you understand all of these sort of aspects of your life that maybe you haven't been able to check yourself, like, oh, let me check that, or let me observe how was my relationship at home with this, with that, with my siblings, with my parents, with my grandparents, and the relationship between my parents and their parents, and so on. And so you can start creating inclusions and reconciliation, integration, liberation, transformation. So everything is in this book. Now, if you don't like reading because it's like, oh, I'm not a good reader, and or I buy the books and I put them next to
My nightstand.
my nightstand, but then I
Nightstand.
forget, and then because maybe you're not enjoying reading, we also have it in a digital program called Soul's Journey. And so you can do the same as the book, but in videos. So you will be understanding the information by seeing it, by watching, and by hearing, and by doing the exercises, repeating after me, and doing the experiences with me in this program that you can buy on Hatmart. It's called Hatmart. Hatmart.com is a platform, and the program is called Soul's Journey. So there you go. Also, before we begin our topic today, we have something else to offer, and that is that we are opening a waiting list for those who feel called to learn how to do family constellations. And so we will start again our training program in February of 2024. And if you are interested, so well, send me a message or send me a text to my cell phone number or through WhatsApp, 321-900-5680. And you can say, I'm interested in being part of that list. And Janet is a graduated.
I was going to say, as a graduate, from the
graduated
institute,
from the
it definitely is a
institute.
deep dive. You know,
Yes.
if you're interested of just going just deeper and understanding the system better, it's an excellent program. And also, if you are a therapist, a healer, and you want to use it on your clients, it's also absolutely excellent. I mean, I cannot tell you how many therapists that Maya has trained that are using it and are doing really great. Their clients are going through major breakthrough because it's an experience. And when you have that experience, everything shifts. And we see it every day happening. So you're definitely welcome. Get yourself signed up on the waiting list, and let's go ahead and let's come and help people have experience to change their perspective, therefore change their destiny.
Yes. And most importantly, change the destiny of life,
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
because we are one. So when you change your reality and you liberate the past, you are helping us all being transformed and moving forward towards a new destiny.
Absolutely.
So that's how it works. So welcome. If you feel this call, welcome, welcome.
And if you know anyone that would enjoy a program
Mhm.
like that, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely guide it to the institute.
The website is systemichealinginstitute.com, and you can see the whole program right there. Yes. All right. So are we ready to begin?
We
Yes.
are.
Yay.
Yes.
All right. So we are talking today about the wound of rejection. So let's begin by asking some questions. Have you ever felt rejected before? Or maybe still today, right? Because if we have this wound, probably we feel rejected at all times with many people in different circumstances, and we think are the others rejecting me, but I maybe haven't been able to find the root of that. So ask yourself, have I ever felt rejected? Yes. Question number one. Question number two, have you rejected others? Yes, because if you have a wound of rejection, there is a tendency for you to reject the one who is rejecting you. Isn't that right? It's like, oh, you're rejecting me, and then, yes, I go away, but somehow this creates these sort of feelings of maybe resentment. because I feel rejected by you. So unconsciously, because all of these dynamics that happen in our inside of us have the tendency to respond to protect ourselves by rejecting as well. So I reject you back. Now, there's something very interesting in this dynamic, and it is that if you felt rejected and you're rejecting the other, somehow you have a behavior that is not likable, maybe, or people don't like me, or people don't want me, or people don't love me, or people don't accept me. More of that as acceptance. Then you don't want to feel not accepted. So your tendency when it comes to behaviors will be to hide or to run away.
And what as well overcompensate, like do too much so that they
Mhm.
won't be rejected. Like you do too much.
No, what you do is you look for a place to hide. So you don't have to confront people who would you think that are rejecting you. So it's a way of protecting yourself.
So you
Yes.
have that protective shield. You're walking around
Yes.
with that protective shield.
But somehow, if you're taking this behavior because you're feeling rejected, somehow you're rejecting something about yourself.
That was the toughie part, I will say.
Yes, because you're believing
Hmm.
what they are thinking about you.
And therefore, they're creating the experience of
Mhm.
rejection.
Exactly. So all of these three start playing a dynamic when just one experience brings the energy of rejection. So just look around you and maybe see a group of people where you have felt rejected. And maybe your decision was I'm not going to show up again in that group because I'm not welcome there. And so somehow you also reject. You also somehow exclude. And because you're protecting yourself. But then inside of you, you're like, but why do they reject me? What's wrong with me? That's the question that you should ask. Why are they rejecting me? Instead of hiding that, because we want to put this mask to feel like we are maybe secure and that's nothing, or we are indifferent to it, but in reality, we are not. There is a part of us that feels disempowered when we feel not accepted, because then you cannot be yourself. You are trying to be a mask, you're trying to look good, you're trying to fit, you're trying to, but that doesn't mean that you are. You're just trying to fit or to be who you are not. And so it is important for you to ask these questions. So what is it that I feel, for example, when I feel rejected? And am I rejecting something from my own self? Am I not good enough? For example, am I not good enough? And all of this sort of what's wrong with me? Something is wrong with me, or do I punish myself saying that I'm not good enough? Yes. So just those observations can start giving you a guide, a navigator for you to understand better the root of this issue. Yes.
And I find it interesting, like when Maya said, do I punish myself? Because we, that could be something that can definitely we do. Like unconsciously, we punish ourselves,
Yes.
and
Yes.
it's like I sit and I listen. I'm like, why would you? But we do,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I know I have a little bit of the womb of rejection, and sometimes you do. You just punish yourself. We go to the thing, I'm not enough. But where is that stemming from?
Yes. So let's go to that part. Yes. It's very important to understand this. So, pretty much the wound of rejection begins when you are mostly in the womb, your mom's womb, because um, let's say that maybe your mother wasn't expecting to get pregnant.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, that already happened, right? So mom had a feeling of, oh, I didn't want to be a mother, or I'm not ready to be a mother, or I don't want this child. And energetically, oh, even though you're cells, or we are just cells, we have an intelligence that somehow feels a sort of, oh, I'm not being welcome here. I'm not being accepted to come to life. I'm not welcome here. And that's the same, actually, that's what you usually say when you feel rejected in a group. Oh, I don't feel welcome here.
Mhm.
Isn't that right?
Mhm.
So that phrase, that simple phrase, has a root. Where is this root coming from? Maybe from that beginning when mom didn't welcome me because um, I wasn't expected, for example.
It
Yes,
was on a surprise,
it was
surprise.
a surprise. Yes. Also, it is important to know here that maybe another way of feeling rejected is because, well, let's say that these two parents were expecting a baby or a child, and maybe the mother wanted a boy, and maybe it is a girl. Somehow, the energy of this uh, girl who is feeling this sort of rejection. Oh, my mom was expecting a boy, and I am a girl. So somehow this sort of struggling starts happening there energetically. It's all energy. Remember that we are all energy. So that sort of disconnection
Mhm.
begins to happen right in that moment. And so maybe you grow up, and maybe you as a woman, since your mom was expecting a boy or wanted a boy, not expecting it, wanted a boy, maybe your behavior will be very masculine, trying to for mom to accept you. See, it's like we take into all of these sort of behaviors or masks to be accepted, because rejection is all about looking to be accepted.
Or you might be, like I say, do a lot of sports that are male sports. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like you like all those sports that are like if you were a guy.
Hmm.
So, even though things are now co-ed, but still you gravitate,
Hmm.
because you want to be accepted by mom or by dad. So let me do the football team.
Hmm.
Let me do wrestling. Sports that they're predominantly boys sports, even though thank
Hmm.
God now it's being open to boys and girls.
Hmm.
But look at that.
Nice. Look at that. So yes, it's important to self-observe these little simple things that happen to us in every moment in our life, and question yourself.
Hmm.
Question yourself if you really feel accepted. Because if you don't feel accepted, maybe the root of it can be from the beginning of when you were created, or when you were just stated, let's say, right? So let's talk a little bit about this, because each one has different sort of threats. And let's see, when we talk about rejection, usually the rejection is felt with the same parent of the same gender. Let's say if I'm a girl, maybe I feel the rejection from my mom. If I'm a boy, I felt rejected by my dad. Yes. So it's like you feel rejected by the same parent of the same gender, the same sex. Hmm? So this eventually will show in different ways, because the body also shows rejection. So just when we see people with rejection and they are not accepted, the way for you to protect yourself is not to allow others to see you, because if you the more hidden you are, the more invisible you are, the better, because you don't have to deal with people that will eventually reject you. So that's the best way not to feel rejected, not showing up, being invisible, right? And so the body is very skinny. See, usually that type of body that is very, very, very skinny, that kind of wants to disappear because I don't want people to see me. Or they have the tendency to wear clothing that are very like fade, like black or gray that no one would see me. Yes, it's like a sort of a way of not being seen. I
It's
don't
like
want to be
gloomy,
seen. Yeah.
closer that are glooming.
Yes. So there is a way of protecting yourself. Being quiet, they don't talk a lot because my opinion is not important. And if I give an opinion, I might be rejected. So, in order for me not to feel rejected, I'm not going to give my opinion. So I don't express. Yes. So all of these little traits are common on people who has felt or have gone through that experience of rejection from the beginning. Because remember that this one, the beginning is when you are in your mother's womb or at the beginning of when you're just born. Yes, make sense?
Yes, absolutely. It
Yes.
makes a lot of sense.
Lourdes is saying this is the case of my sisters, me and my sisters. So Lourdes, when you're saying that means that you have felt rejected by mom, because then this is the new dynamic that I'm going to be talking about. When we have this one with, let's say I'm a woman and I have a conflict in the relationship with my mother. So specifically, that wound of rejection has to do with mom. Oh, with both parents. I see. Yes, it could be by both parents. Maybe none of them wanted to have these babies of these children. And so the children are here and none of them wanted the children or the child. Um, for example, an adoption case. In an adoption case, the baby can say, they didn't want me. No mom, no dad wanted me. And even though people might grow and say, no, 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 I'm fine because the people who raised me were so good to me and all of this. You can say whatever, but deep inside of you, there is an inner child that still feels that sort of, but why mom didn't want me? Maybe I wasn't enough for her. Or that, why dad didn't want me? Or both of my parents didn't want me. So that creates a sort of insecurity because I'm not welcome into the world and I'm not worthy
Oh, yes.
enough for my parents to keep me. See all of these dynamics, how they play all together. And so, how does this affect you as you grow up? Because this has an effect, of course. So, let's say that you grew up and you leave home and you say, okay, fine, I'm finally out of my house where no one wants me, no one loves me, they don't accept me how because the way I am or whatever, right? You have your own sort of ideas in your mind why you weren't accepted, right? And so you live to the world looking, right? You're always looking for acceptance in others. And so you go out to the world, and since you haven't fixed that from the beginning, that relationship with mom or with dad or with both about this rejection energy, then you will be attracting into your life the same sort of energy. So let's say you will go to a job and you have a boss. I'm just giving an example, a random example. And let's say that your boss is a woman, and maybe the wound of rejection that you experienced was with mom, because maybe that's maybe you're a woman, and maybe the conflict that you had was with mom. So maybe you will get a boss because it will have to be someone in a higher hierarchy than you that will project the same conflict that you experienced as a child, but it will be in adulthood. So somehow you might say, oh, my boss doesn't like me. But in reality, it's not that. You're having projecting how you felt when you were a child with this boss. And if it is a woman, you might say, she doesn't like me. Just as maybe in your deep inside of you, you think my mom doesn't like me.
You're totally recreated in your life experience in places of authority because that's what it is. Like with a
Mm-hmm.
boss, their boss has authority. So it'll make you feel like that child, even though you're an adult. So you just, in that moment, you are that child. And you'll keep recreating it until you start becoming aware. And then you start looking at it. And then you say, okay. And sometimes you hit bottom so that you can start now working on it.
Yes. So how can you see, self-observe, how if this one could be applying to you?
That's a good question.
So if you go to a place and maybe you feel that sort of, I'm not being accepted, I should ask this question to myself. So who did I didn't feel accepted by in my family system?
That's an excellent question.
Because it's not about the other people. The other people is showing me something that I haven't been able to fix, to integrate, that comes from my own clan. And that is making me feel not accepted or rejected.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's always about you, it's never about them. That's the part that I still work through. You know, like whenever I see something, I'll say, and I'm triggered. You know, I'm like, I'm bothered. The moment it bothers me, I have to step back. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why I'm doing a lot of work. Now that
Yes.
it comes like this,
Mm-hmm.
it took years.
And don't move forward. Do just what Jan is saying. Stop, take one step back, and look at the scene
And observe. Yeah.
and observe. Because if you let it just go, then you are not giving yourself the chance to find your own truth.
And don't do like what a lot of people do, the spiritual bypass. Like because you're spiritual, no, it's okay. I'm just working through it. No,
Yes.
no, no, no.
No,
You
that's the
have
mask
to
again.
don't put that mask. I know that's famous for that. So you have to sit in you have to sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Where in my life did this happen? Where did the rejection? Where's the core?
Mm-hmm.
Might
Where
take,
is the core?
where's the core? And it
Yes.
takes time.
Yes, exactly. And so it is always an opportunity.
Yes.
When any of, like, any situation in your life is somehow showing you this sort of dynamic of rejection, it is a good opportunity for you to heal it. So embrace it, but do the exercise. Step back, look at it, and say, I'm feeling rejected. I'm feeling not accepted. I'm feeling not welcome. I'm feeling that I don't belong.
And saying it out loud is good.
Not to the group, maybe people wouldn't
Right. Yeah.
understand that, but to
Right.
yourself, unless you are in a safe environment with the right people, as we do, for example, in a family constellation session, where we will have people that, when we're having a therapy, everybody's more involved in
Right.
helping you find your truth and transforming your perspective and liberating your heart from that suffering, from that pain, from that sadness, from that resentment. Because I would say that the most, or the higher emotion that comes with this one is anger, and also the feelings of resentment. I feel resentment because you don't accept me.
Yeah. So definitely, yeah. I always say you can always be honest with yourself.
Yes, and we actually, how you can say that, we celebrate you, when you give yourself the opportunity to express internally at least how you feel about it. It is good to say, and I feel resentment because that's what I feel. Instead of trying to say, no, I'm not good if I feel resentment, then that means that I'm not a good um, son of God or daughter of God, right? And so I'm trying to be always like the mask. No, it's okay. I can let go of that. And that's speaking from their mind, from your mind, but that's not speaking from your heart. So very important for you to be aware of also this dynamic where you're trying to approve something that in reality you're not approving because you still feel upset about it. And it's okay to feel upset about
Yeah.
it.
And the reason I smile is because sometimes I'll come to Maya with something that I'm upset. And she'll go, yay. And I'm like looking at her, like, what you mean, yay? This is bothering me. But then because she says yes, because I finally brought it forward. I'm finally, oh,
Spit it out.
yeah, and now I'm looking at it, so now I can understand why she celebrates it
Yes.
because now I'm ready to do the work.
Yes, because Janet was always so nice and so
Like I
this and
said,
that. And like,
spiritual
no,
bypass.
Janet, how do you really feel about that?
Hmm.
And she's finally being able to express even her own shadows in front of me. And I like to see that Janet has a duality because we are dual people here.
Hmm.
We cannot deny our shadows and we cannot deny our other side, right? We are both light and obscurity. And that this obscurity that is unconscious probably is more connected to really obscure side of ourselves,
Hmm.
right? It's called the shadows. So when we get to understand our shadow better, we can integrate it. But let's not go to the shadow. Let's continue talking about this wound of rejection. So, what happens when we reject someone or something? Because when we're talking about rejection, we can talk here about many, many things. It's not only about only people. We can reject other people who has other beliefs. We can reject people that don't do it as I do. Let's say I'm vegetarian and some people that eat meat, then you're not in my clan because, or you're not part of my group because of the way you eat. And so I'm rejecting as well. See, I'm excluding others because they are not aligned to where I am right now, right? So that is also a rejection. If I have this political party and you have the other one, then I'm right, you're wrong. So that is the same energy of rejection. And
Hmm.
what happens when we reject, right? Because that's a good point. What happens when we
Reject.
reject?
Yep.
Right after we exclude.
That is so true. I learn every day. It's true because we
Yes,
do.
yes.
And we do it unconsciously.
Unconsciously, of course, because this is a memory that we have been carrying transgenerationally.
Hmm.
So we are just acting as we have acted in the past, or our ancestors acted in the past, in order to have control, for example. Yes, let's say that there is a political party and there is another political, let's say A and B, right? And A and B, they both want the control. They want to control because they know the control is better. It is the power
Hmm.
instead of not having the control. But that is a way of what? Surviving. Yes. So that is a very unconscious dynamic
Hmm.
that is excluding others because you're not aligned to what I believe or to what I want or what I want from you, then I exclude you.
If they don't do it like you do, then you
Mhm.
exclude them.
Yes. Or you're wrong, you're bad, you just don't, you bad, you're nothing, right?
I used to do that. Like,
We all did. I did
yeah,
too.
I'm laughing because I would think like if they didn't think the way I think, I would just eliminate them all. And then I, but
Scratch off my list.
like I would just, it wasn't like I would try. I would just eliminate them. Janice, when I started doing this work,
Delete it from my phone, scratch it from my list.
and when I started doing this work, I'm like, dang, Janet, you just eliminate people. At least now I don't do that because I go, okay, Janet, where is this being a mirror to you?
Let's talk about this one. What about a dictatorship?
Yeah.
That is a wound. That is an energy, I'm sorry, that comes from memories in history. What would a dictator do if they didn't follow me? Kill them, eliminate them.
I hope I wasn't a dictator somewhere. Because that's what I eliminated. That's what I did. Oh my God. Now I'm going to have to look back and see. Anyway, this is what happens when you do this work.
Yes, there are memories that are very connected to us, and we just don't recognize them.
I mean, come on. Haven't we done that to our kids? This is not a democracy. It's a dictatorship.
It is a dictatorship, and that's lack of respect to our children when we act in that way. And we are not accepting, we are actually rejecting them because you are not following what I want you to be. Dictatorship.
Okay. What can I say? We learn every day, right?
Janet, what can I say? That's funny.
Oh my God.
Something to look at, you know. We're not saying that that's 100% your case, but those are examples of how your family system might be connected to something that has the tendency to be very controlling or to have the power in these ways that are not aligned to consciousness. And we are working at this moment in history to realign that, to change that programming and to allow everybody to belong no matter what they do, no matter how they think, because we are all one experience, a different experience, and we should respect the other's experience, no matter if it's not aligned to mine.
Right. And just know that this is all part of the process.
Yes.
You know, now with my kids, I go, okay, let's work in collaboration. That's my word.
Very good.
But it came from, like we say, no, I had quite a bit of kids, so I had to put the discipline and the order and all that.
Discipline is different than dictatorship.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, it is important to give some discipline and some rules in order for everybody at home to work out the whole community, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
So we keep evolving.
We keep evolving. That's the word. So let's talk a little bit about the excluded one, right? Because the excluded one, when we exclude these other people that don't think like me, or I don't like them, you should ask yourself, so who did at home didn't like this type of people? Because many times it's not that we chose, we are just following our family system's beliefs.
I find that so fascinating because, we haven't chosen.
Yeah, we haven't chosen.
We just follow.
We are not as free as we think we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. We're not exercising the free will because we are unconsciously being controlled.
Yes, we are somehow connected or linked or attached to what happened in the past. And that's why we're here, because we want to talk about family constellations and how it can help you transcend these sort of energies, memories, right? Unresolved memories. And so there is one principle that Bert Hellinger, the founder of family constellations, was explained, right? And it's called the principle of belonging. And this principle says that we all belong to the system, not only to our family system, but to the system of life. And when you get to understand that the system of life is one unit and nothing can separate this. Only minds. Maybe my mind thinks that this whole unit is rejecting me. But the unit is not rejecting you because you're connected to the unit. You're the one who feels rejected by the unit, which is impossible. It's impossible. So once you get to understand these concepts, you can see that the only thing that separates us from consciousness is our own perspectives. And that your system might be connected to certain memories that are affecting your present. Maybe that's why you are the one who came to heal that wound of rejection in your system. And you chose as a soul purpose, part of your missions, where, okay, I'm going to go help transcending this rejection energy that doesn't exist. In reality, doesn't exist, through healing my own wounds. So there you go. You decide to be born uh, by this couple who maybe didn't want a baby. So there you go. First experience for you will be that of rejection,
Right in the womb.
right in the womb. Hmm. Isn't that interesting? So let's give an example so you can understand better certain or this dynamic. Let's say the latest Disney movie, I believe. No, it's like a couple of years already. That movie Encanto.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Encanto.
Encanto. And since we're talking about family systems, memories that can affect you, let's talk about Maribel. Maribel was this girl who wanted to belong, and but she didn't felt accepted because she didn't have a magic. Everybody had a magic but me.
She was the different one.
She was the different one, but she wasn't accepted by grandma because she didn't have the special magic, right? Why she didn't have this special magic? Because there was one excluded one in that family system. And if you remember the movie, there was a guy called Bruno, the a famous song that children sing lately. It's like Bruno, no one talks about
Oh, yeah,
Bruno.
I was
No,
there.
no, no, right? So that's the case. He was the excluded one by grandma because this child has this because the child this Bruno had a potential of being maybe psychic. He could read clairvoyance.
Okay, yeah, he can see.
Yeah, he
can
could see things, but then people would think that everything that he was trying to bring out would bring bad luck. So he felt like his truth wasn't accepted because he was trying bad luck to everybody. So he was rejected by the clan, right? And he was excluded by the clan, and no one could talk about him. And so here is Maribel that comes one generation or two generations after, or one generation
one
after,
generation after, yes.
and then she didn't have a power. Why is that? Because there was one generation before where someone was not seen because his power wasn't worthy, wasn't accepted. So she was feeling the same. I'm not accepted because I don't have a power. See how these Disney movies are now showing all of this. It's all family constellation, systemic work.
It's
It's
just
all
so
about
fascinating.
systemic. Yeah.
It's like nowadays, whenever I watch a movie or anything, I'm like, oh, look at the pattern. Oh, look at this. It's like now I cannot see things regular anymore.
Beautiful. And that's how it should be. I'm the same. I'm looking at everything that happens, even in my daily life, things that are out of me, that I would say that they are out of me, somehow are projecting something that is about me.
We are all each other's mirror.
Yes, yes, yes. So very important to observe everything because everything is speaking all the time. Everything is
I like the
speaking.
way you say that because
Yeah.
everything is speaking to you all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's why, we do the getting silent to hear it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So let's review this one before we move on to the next one next week, or next Friday. We will be talking about abandonment. Yes, that's a big
Oh, that's a
one.
big, I mean, they're all big, but
Yeah, that's a big one.
they're all big. Yeah.
Well, they are all big.
Yeah.
Rejection has been applied like so strongly for so long. I would say even before humanity was brought to
Yeah.
Earth.
Yeah.
So, but
So abandonment.
abandonment.
Stay tuned. Come
Stay
join us.
tuned, yes. But let's just review rejection, just in case you came late, and just for you before we go, for you to have some highlights to say, okay, let me put these notes and let's highlight this and let's see it and observe it and review
Let
it.
me think about that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Look at it from another perspective.
Let me think about this one.
Yeah.
So, a question could be like, was I expected by my parents or was I a surprise for them? It's like, they really wanted me or it was just an accident, as children call it now? Was it an accident, Mom? One time my son asked me that. I was like, what?
My son asked me that the other day.
Was it an accident? I was like, there's not accidents
I
in
know.
life, but that's how they see it. That's funny. That was funny. He was joking. But just ask yourself that question. And if you feel that you were rejected by mom or dad, then you have some work to do because we need to heal that relationship with which one of those two parents do you have this sort of feeling of rejection, because that needs some therapeutic work, I would say. That needs to come to an experience where you can express, or you can heal, you can liberate, you can see where it comes from. Because usually, when at the time a baby is born, it's kind of repeating a story that was from before. So if you weren't accepted at the beginning, maybe someone before you wasn't accepted. Maybe your mother wasn't also welcome into this world and it's already here. And then that disconnection that happens in that moment, that's the same disconnection that maybe you felt with your mother, for example. Yes? So things to review. Also, look at your behaviors. How do I behave in front of others? Like, for example, in a group, do I want to be the one that is the invisible one? Do I give my opinions? Do I express what I think? Do I, how do I act? Because that's the wound that has the tendency of people to be quiet. Am I too quiet? Because sometimes people confuse being shy with this wound. Thinks, oh no, it's just that I'm shy. It doesn't exist. Shyness doesn't exist because the creator, our creator, is not shy. And if we are the creator and you're defining yourself as shy, then there is a part of you that needs to be healed because
Yeah.
that doesn't exist in the spirit.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great opportunity for you to come in and have an experience with a constellator.
Yes. And so, behaviors, masks. Do I feel like I'm secure? Am I a little bit perfectionist? Do I want to look good in front of others for them to accept me? Do I work hard to be perfect so no one can reject me? Yes, because I'm trying to be part of it. I want to feel like I belong. Do I feel like I belong? What parts of me am I rejecting?
And that one, I would say sit with that for a while. What part of me am I rejecting?
Mhm. Lourdes, yes, thank you for sharing. She's saying, yes, that's true. My best friend, me, or left me maybe without explanation, and we don't have any problem. And that's how I feel right now. Leave me. Oh, like you want them to leave you. It's another way of rejection. I don't want, for example, when children say, "Oh, leave me alone," or it's a way to hide yourself. I feel hurt. That's pretty much screaming. Leave me alone is a phrase when someone says that, that is pretty much saying, I'm hurt, I need to go hide. And if you need to go hide, it's because you feel rejected, not accepted, and you're dealing with it. You just got triggered by something or by someone. But the core or the root of this isn't your friend, or isn't your husband, or isn't your son, or isn't your child, or isn't your best friend. Is there. Look at your parents, mom and dad. Where is the root of these uh, feelings of not being accepted?
Mhm.
Yes,
Fun, 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 right?
it is. It is a fun ride.
A
It is a
fun
fun
ride.
ride to look at yourself and to start questioning yourself, because that's growing.
Question everything. That's where I feel. Question everything.
Yes, and that's growing when you really give yourself the chance to self-observe and say, I'm feeling this, and that doesn't feel well, because that's the
Mhm.
first alarm.
Right.
If
Yep.
it doesn't feel well, means that I need to heal something. And every day we have the opportunity to start reviewing things within, not outside. The outside is only a way to show us what is inside. And when you heal it inside, then it shows differently outside. Yes.
Like right now, you're creating your outside.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, let's review what's happening inside.
Yes. So thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight, this Friday night.
Friday, absolutely.
Yes, and we will be here again every Friday at 8 until I leave to Egypt. Yay, I'm so excited that actually it is, oh, like a month from now.
Yeah, so I'm so
Yes,
excited for
I'm
them.
so
They're gonna
excited.
have such a wonderful time.
Yeah, Janet was there last
Last
year.
year, and it was
We
fantastic. It was great.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
So before I leave, we're gonna be doing a few of these programs, or quite some, for you to get to understand better this information about the wounds. And of course, if you want to know more about how you're connected to your ancestors,
buy
right?
the book.
Buy
Buy
the
the book.
book
Absolutely buy
Alchemy
the
for the Soul in Amazon.
or the program or join the school.
Or the institute.
The
Yes,
institute, yeah.
when you join the institute, you really give yourself the chance to go deep
That's when you're doing the deep dive, absolutely. So
and to work on yourself, because in
we
the
are
institute,
brave.
yes, the brave ones
The
come,
brave
and
ones.
of course, you have to heal yourself before you get to facilitate others. And so that's part of the whole process of being in the institute, and that's all. Oh, hi, Sean.
And I was gonna say, if this resonated with you, definitely hit the like, definitely join our group, and just share, share, share.
Yes, please share this information if you feel it like it's relevant or that it can give some sort of light to someone else who is feeling rejected, not accepted, excluded, doesn't find the root of it, and is looking forward to heal these feelings of resentment or anger or sadness or this sort of perfectionism trying to fit and being accepted. All of these can give someone some sort of a light, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I never thought that it could be me and no others rejecting me. It's my perspective because I need to heal something with who, mom or dad, because everything goes to mom or dad, and it's you the only one who can heal that relationship. And of course, if we go deeper, it's not only about mom and dad because they were also carrying the same wound.
Mhm.
Yes, so mom and dad they didn't resolve, then there it comes a descendant to experience the same wound until one
It's resolved.
descendant says, okay, this isn't normal.
Right.
Why do I feel like this when I really belong to a
Mhm.
whole unity? So if I don't feel like I belong to this unity that we are, right, the oneness, then it means that I have something to heal in my perspectives and, of course, in my heart. And of course, we need to liberate this soul. So, Alchemy for the Soul in Amazon.
Buy the book
Buy the book. Or
or join us
join us.
for the
Or
next class. Sign yourself on the waiting list, and the
Mhm.
class starts in February.
or experience a family constellation session.
We're one of her students, facilitator. I'm one. My
Janet,
phone number
what's your
is
number, please?
407-460-5756. I can do a constellation in English or in Spanish
Online through Zoom or in
or in
person.
person.
Again, your
Absolutely.
number.
407-460-5756.
Beautiful. So there you go. You have the tools. You have the facilitator. You have a teacher here.
The book,
If
the
you allow me
program, the
to,
institute,
you have a book. You have a
program,
program.
and the institute.
We're covering all the fronts for you to get there.
Absolutely.
All right, my dear. So thank you so much
For joining
for
us.
joining us
Absolutely.
tonight. And we appreciate your presence here and thank you for sharing and listening. Our intention is, I would say, is honest, is sincere.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being open to all these new perspectives.
Mm-hmm. We have no really interest more than for everybody to be able to see this and to be able to create a transformation, knowing that I have the possibility to change. It is possible to change and to transform your reality and your destiny by doing these exercises, this systemic work, liberating the past, integrating it, or healing it, because that's it. It's as simple as that. You just need to confront it. It's all.
That's it. You have support. We're here.
And you have support.
We're
We're
here.
here for you.
So you're not walking the journey alone.
Yes. Okay. So thank you,
I
Janet.
thank you, Maja.
I love you, dear
Nice to be
friend.
back.
Yes, thank you. It is so nice to be back, and we'll see you
Next Friday,
Friday at
8
p.m.
same
again.
time with the womb abandonment.
Yes, yes, yes.
Bring your questions.
Yes, please. Sending love
Bye.
and blessings, and we'll see you next week.
Next week. Bye bye.
Bye.